Good morning, everybody. Back at Old Town Boatworks to check up on our bowsprit. So last time we saw it, it was a 16-agon or a hexadecagon.
Yes, it's a hexadecagon.
Hexadecagon.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's not that anymore. So what's the process that you've been through to?
So we made it a 16-sided 16-agon,
Yes.
and then with a series of passes with a power planer, we made it round-ish, and then it was cross-hatched just with a hand plane. And so it was just a bunch of wood shavings.
Yes.
And then it more or less became round. And our apprentice Alex has been torture boarding to make it really round. So he's gone over it with 40 grit, and now it's 80 grit. And this is the most efficient way of making it smooth and round.
There you go.
Yep.
And I see he's still using that cross-hatching technique.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's just a crisscross. We did it with power planes, hand planes, and then sandpaper.
So this is the step for the jumbo boom. So you have to picture this on the ship, is that the Samson post, the big mooring bit in the bow, is here. And then what Old Town Boatwork like to call the Samsonettes, the small mooring bits are here. Yes, and then the jumbo boom sits on top of this. And the actual stem of the ship is about halfway up through. So half of this is inside the ship, half of this is outside of the ship.
Am I looking at it right?
Yep.
So it's like that. That seems about right, doesn't
Yes.
it? And this.
Yep. So you can see there the big through bolts through the stem. And this is the big iron piece that holds the bowsprit down together with the bobstays out at the end of the bowsprit. And again, I believe that was made by Vernon Walters
Wow.
back in the day.
It's not light either.
I can remember as a kid taking my little red wagon. Mom would take it when it needed a weld job. We would take it over to his place and he would
Really?
stop what he was doing. And
Wow.
I wish I could go back to that time and look at what else he was making in the days.
Probably that.
Yes.
What's this
That's
called?
a snout iron.
Snout iron.
Snout iron.
Okay. I always forget which way is forward, up, and down. Starboard.
Yes.
Very important. But it comes to a certain point where we just have to bang it on there, leave some marks, pull it off, whittle with a plane. Gets.
Okay.
go
Yes,
to- yeah.
Yeah. You go from lots of wood to sawdust.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So at some point, the only way to do it is to just nibble your way there. And then the circular irons that go over top of it are going to squeeze it again. With the finish work and this too, shaping things, we never use things that you can plug in. We don't use sanders ever. We do everything by hand because we've actually found it's quicker and more efficient to get to the thing.
Right on.
Doing it
Yeah.
by hand. Nothing gets plugged in. Everything's done by hand. That way you don't create these sort of divots that once you put the final finish on, everything you've done before that pops out at you with an exclamation mark. So if you run over something with a DA and then 2 months
DA.
orbital sander,
Yeah.
and then put a high gloss finish like that on top of
Yes,
it, you will
yeah.
see every swirl and every area that you spent too long in one place,
Yes,
and
yeah.
you'll see all the undulations. But if you follow the pattern of cross-hatching properly, you basically can't make a mistake. That's the challenge with finish work. 95% of the labor is prep, and 5% of it is the sort of money shot at the end.
Yes.
And even then, something can go wrong where a puff of wind comes, blows a bunch of dust in it, and then you got to sand it all up. And so it takes a certain psychological fortitude finishing work, and it's a completely separate trade here, and it takes about 3 years before someone's really good at it.
Yeah.
So Felix is making the caterpillars.
And so that's the pieces that fit on the bow that the jib stops go into. So when we furl the jibs
Jib
up on
stop,
the bow,
yeah.
the rope that ties up the sails,
Correct.
that's the holders for that.
Yeah,
Yes.
and we can go and check him out. I think he's making them right now.
So we're here with Felix, who's one of OTB's fine shipwrights, and you were going to talk to us about the caterpillar.
Yeah, caterpillars, there's these pieces of wood that go on either side of the bowsprit, through which you can pass some lines to tidy up the foresails, and on which the crew can hold on with their hands when they walk on the lines. The old ones were fastened.
They were fastened with galvanized fasteners
fastened
down
in
through.
with mechanical
Yes,
fasteners. So our plan right now with the new ones is actually to use some tree nails, which are just wooden pegs
Yes.
that we're gonna drive through and glue them and recess. So use a router like
Yes.
this one, or maybe a smaller one like this one, to make a groove in where all these little pads
Yes.
are going to be notched into the bowsprit.
Okay,
So
yes.
that, in addition with the glue, in addition with the tree nails, should give a lot of strength and support.
Yes.
And-
And still with
Yeah.
little, to let the water out, because it is a natural water trap there.
Yeah, exactly. So right now I was just marking the placement of those little foots that will be notched in, and I have this little plywood template here that I made that I'm going to use with this big router to make these notches.
So
right?
essentially, in looking at it, we're not going to be able to tell the difference, but 20 years down the road, we're going to absolutely know the difference, because there's not going to be galvanized fastenings in there, and there's not going to be rot. And
Yeah, that's the goal here.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
really hoping that the absence of fasteners will prolong the longevity of these pieces of,
Oh, there's no question.
piece of wood.
Yeah, there's no question. Right on. I look forward to coming back and seeing that develop. As many of you might know, the Tourism Industry Association of Nova Scotia awarded me with the Alistair and Francis Campbell Tourism Award the other day. Very humbling experience and lovely. And I'd just like to say thank you to Tyann's for recognizing my work in promoting the ship and my love for the ship and how I see the Bluenose, and for all of you that took the time to write a quick message. I really appreciate that, and it's energy to keep going, get me through the long winter. So we'll thank you again.